Hello and welcome back to the channel. So behind me is the Xi'an railway station. However, we're not leaving Xi'an just yet. Instead, we're going inside this. So this is Danming Palace Heritage Park. This used to be the seat of power for over 2 centuries. Construction began in 634 AD and most of it was destroyed. So there's very few remains left that are original. This gate we're looking at is called the Danfeng Gate, and it's the main entrance with the 5 archways. And this archaeological site is also humongous. It's over 3 times larger than the Forbidden City and Versailles. It stretches 2.5 kilometers north and then it's 1.5 kilometers wide. But it doesn't look very nice because of all this rock that we're walking on. Like, it's flattened, crushed rock, so it's easy to walk on, but it just makes it look like it's dried grass. Whereas over there is grass over that way. I guess that maybe this is like it for performances, and so things like this can drive on here without ruining the grass, which would make it also look terrible. Okay, so we're in front of the gate and there's a lot of information here. Some I've already told you, but it also says that the outer wall of this place is over 7 kilometers long, and it says it's over 4 times as large as Forbidden City. I think I said 3 before. So here we also have a model of the whole park of Danming Palace. So here is where we came in. So we got the 5 gates, and then you can see how large it is. So we've only walked to about here, I think. So behind this gate we have like viewing platforms, or I don't know, something that's raised up. But then you can see how wide it is. It's all parks and a couple of buildings. And then as we go further along, there's going to be a lake and more parks and a couple of different buildings and pagodas, and you can see all the gates. There's 11 gates surrounding the park. Main gate over there. So that's what it looks like now. This one is what it looked like during the Tang Dynasty, apparently. So still had the main gate. And then before it was quite flat, but this is what they believe it looked like back in the day. So you can see a lot more buildings and a lot taller and a lot higher. So it still had the lake, but then it's got like both the inner city, the inner wall, outer wall. So it would have been a lot more impressive, of course, back then. This looks like the base of what we see at like the drum tower and the bell tower, where they have the base and then on top they build the tower or pagodas or buildings or whatever it is. I've just got in and it cost 60 yuan, but using trip.com I got a bit of a discount, so slightly cheaper. So definitely consider using trip.com. This platform's 15 meters high and it's 200 meters wide and 100 meters long. You also get a good view of the train station. Then you got the gate we walked into and the square in front of the platform. And here we have some remains of the hall that used to be on here. So I did say there are very few remains, but it's great to see something from the 7th century. Here we go, hall site. So this used to welcome foreign envoys, and all of these circular things, I'm guessing they would be where the columns or the pillars were, which allowed the hall to stand, but I'm not sure. I don't even know what it's meant to be, but it looks great. Looks cool as. So here we got some pillars with pictures of the lake and some buildings, people farming, pagodas. And then this one, it's a bigger version standing in a flower. Here we have a replica of what the Xuanzeng Hall used to be. So it used to be the seat of day-to-day state affairs. And to me, it reminds me of the same British style where it's got the black or brown and white. squares. And it was the second largest hall, and it was built in 663. So again, these columns, maybe it's probably the outline of it. Here we do have some remains, the foundations of some of the buildings. There's like a wall around it, then we've got one foundation, two, small one, 3, 4, 5, and maybe like a wall or another foundation. So here'd probably be like the entrance, like you'd have a staircase and walk up here. It's crazy to think that 1400 years ago, this was being used and there were buildings on top of it, and one of the most important places in China. Not relating to the Daming Palace, but you can see Xi'an residential buildings. They all look quite similar there, and then we've got different types, but they all look quite similar there. And the same over here. Wow, we've got a golden building over here. Let's head towards that. And the park is very quiet. There is a limit, a daily limit of like 40,000 people, I read. But maybe only on the public holidays they would even get close to getting full. There's probably less than 50 people walking around at the moment. Now, it's a very big lake. So this side of the lake will help you understand just how big the palace complex is. Okay, so in front is the island that's situated in the middle of the lake. It was very nice with all the trees and the hanging leaves. And then back when they were living here, there would have been none of these big buildings. So you can just imagine that it would have looked like there's nothing around here, just the lake and some trees. It probably would have looked like this, like there's no buildings. Well, you can't see any buildings behind here, so it would have been like this for the whole way. Okay, so we're down by the lakeside. The water looks quite clean for a lake. Yeah, and here's the island. I like all the trees, how they're hanging down. Okay, let's try and find the gold building. Walk down a little path surrounded by all these trees, and we've finally come to the gold building. So it's not so much a building, but golden framing. So this is called Li Yuan, which literally means pear garden, and it was an imperial training institution for musicians, dancers, and performers. The Emperor Xuanzong was very fond of music, so he selected many performers to be trained under his supervision. And this was the first Royal Academy for Music, Dancing and Drama in China. Okay, so here is where the emperor would sit, and he'd watch all of them perform here, where I am now. So I guess they'd play to him and people sitting would be watching them from behind. This is his throne, very wide. Okay, I'm sitting in the emperor's throne, and I think that's a fitting end to the video. I hope you enjoyed Daming Palace. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. See you at the next stop. Goodbye.